There are so many scams going on at the moment, all these really cool projects launching, and a lot of people are getting tripped up over these, losing their ADA. And I want to go through a whole bunch of best security practices, things that you should look at to best secure your digital life, especially when you're going to the crypto space. Let's get into this video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.
I'm getting so many DMs at the moment, and unfortunately it looks like a lot of people are falling for these scams or have forgotten to secure a part of their digital life, and they're losing out on their cryptocurrencies. And in this video, I want to take you through a whole bunch of these different scams that are out there at the moment, best practices, and also a couple of tips that you can do. Make sure you secured everything that you can possibly to ensure that your digital experience in the crypto space is as secure as possible. I'm Peter Bury. If this is your first time here, please consider giving me a thumbs up, click subscribe, click on the notification bell, and you hear a lot more content from me really soon. So let's go through a whole bunch of different things that you need to do to look after your digital life. Now, when you're getting into the crypto space and you set up your own wallet, you will need to go through a process where you need to set up a seed phrase or a recovery phrase. So it's termed differently, but it's usually a mnemonic phrase made up of 15 to 24 words in a certain combination, and that is a representation of a secret key to your wallet. So it may look something like this. This is example one that I had a little bit earlier, and if anyone had access to this, they can get access to those funds. Now, it's so important to keep this as secure as possible. Obviously, this one isn't a real one, otherwise this wallet will be considered compromised. Now, a lot of people are storing this in a text file and then saving it online, such as in Dropbox or OneDrive or Google Drive. And if you're saving it there, it's really convenient to get to, especially if you want to move to another computer. But the downside here is that anyone that has access to any of those shared drives that you have, if you accidentally share it, if your email address to any of these online storage services gets hacked, they'll be able to log into your account and then access your seed phrase, access that recovery phrase, and restore your wallet anywhere else, and suddenly be able to access and transfer all your funds out. So do not store this recovery phrase, the seed phrase, anywhere online. Do not even store it on your computer. That's probably the number one takeaway from this entire video. If you have your seed phrase stored in a password vault that's online, on your computer, in a text file, or anywhere that anyone can access digitally, please consider moving that off and storing it offline, cold storage, onto a hardware device of some sort. This here is I think $1.50. It cost me. It's a piece of metal that you can engrave, and in this case, it's got a letter stamping on there. So it's a really cheap way of recording and writing down your seed phrase there, so that you can access it at a later date if you need to. Of course, this little piece of metal you can lose, so it's important to store this as securely as possible so that you don't lose it and you can recover your crypto assets at any point in time. Now, the other thing that you can do, which is really good, and that is to get a hardware wallet. So this hardware wallet, this little one here, this is a Ledger Nano. It's an old one. It's a Ledger Nano S. It's the cheap one that you have to plug into a USB thing. I'm cheap. Why? I don't see the point of buying the expensive Bluetooth version one, which you can see on the screen here. It's all very slick and nice, but the cheaper one works perfectly fine. Now, what this does is it stores your secret key for your wallet on the device itself. So anytime you're signing a transaction or you're doing anything online with crypto, you need to sign the transaction on the device. So it takes that interaction away from your computer and has it on the actual hardware device itself. So it makes it a little bit harder to access and hack from that point. There is a weak point though, and this is what someone got caught up on the other day. And this comes back to your recovery phrase. When you set up one of these devices, it will ask you to set up a seed phrase for a recovery phrase. It's a 24-word seed phrase. And again, if you store this online, if you store it on a shared drive where you can access it on another computer, someone else will be able to hack that, recover your seed phrase, and restore it on another one of these devices. And if that's the case, then you can consider anything on this completely compromised and gone. So do not ever store any seed phrase for your hardware wallet, for your hot wallet, whatever it is, online. That's probably the number one takeaway that you can get for this video. Right, so now that you have hopefully stored your seed phrase securely and you're now interacting on DeFi, on other blockchains, you're doing swaps, you're transferring, buying NFTs even, that's all well and good. Now, a lot of people are getting into cryptocurrencies because they're trying to make a better life for themselves. They're trying to get more crypto and hopefully cash that out one day, buy a house, car, pay off bills, whatever it might be. Now, there's a lot of these scams that are going on at the moment. So this one here is on YouTube. If you type in anything Bitcoin and then look at live videos, you'll see videos like this online. And this one here is with Michael Saylor, and it looks legit. He's doing a presentation. If I just press play. Okay, so it's an interview there, you can see. So it's what they've done is they've just captured a video from an interview that he's done somewhere else, embedded it on the screen here, and then wrapped it around this live giveaway to make it look as authentic as possible. It will give you a website address here and instructions of what you need to do. And in this case, you need to send your BTC or ETH to this particular website on this. Let me just load up the website so you can see what it looks like. So this is it here. This is a scam site. Do not send ADA or crypto or whatever it is to this particular website. It is a scam. But they give you the details here. It's a giveaway because Kathy Wood and Michael Saylor are so generous they want to give away millions. No, that is not correct. They do not give away assets for no reason. No one does really. But here they put in a particular address that you can scan and you can send your assets to, and they'll promise to give you 2x back. Whereas in reality, you're just giving away your crypto assets and you'll never see anything back at all, and there is no way to recover it. Unlike the traditional fiat banking system, where if you have your credit card spent by a scammer or someone stolen your credit card, you can reverse those transactions, there's insurance, etc. So there are ways to get things back with a regular credit card, but not so in the crypto industry. It is immutable. As soon as that happens, it is locked in there forever. So do not fall for these type of scams. They play off your emotions. You look at this and you think, wow, it's an authoritative figure. It's got Vitalik in there. It's talking about really cool, amazing things. And hey presto, he's giving away something. No, it is not the case. It never is the case. All of these are really fake things. Now you see here, you think, oh wow, this ETH Live account has 54,000 subscribers. How is that possible? It must be legit. They've got 16K likes. This is all botted action. So they can run bots to like all of these accounts. And it's most likely that this is some other YouTuber's account that got hacked. And because it got hacked, they can just change everything over. And people have contacted me about this before in the past and said that their account's being hacked and their details in their account and videos and links and everything is being swapped over to another YouTuber, such as myself even. So they saw that my name, my links were appearing in their YouTube account and they're thinking, Pete's hacking my account. No, not quite. They're leveraging off another YouTuber's popularity and trying to build that trust over there and get people to go, oh, if Pete's saying this is legit, then it must be legit. No, please watch out for these scams. It is not legit. It's from these hacked accounts, and they're trying to build that trust and build that sense of urgency so that you can part away with your crypto assets. If anything sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And edge with the side of caution, because they will try and get your crypto and you'll never get it back. I hope I've really made that point clear. This is another example of a fake website here with an Ethereum address where you can send your assets to. This is just a spinning GIF, those clever little tricks. And if you go down further here, you can see these transactions here. It looks like transactions are happening. Look at all this ETH flowing through. And I bet you any moment that screen will refresh and, oh, there we go, refreshed. And it looks like there's activity happening when it's all fake. Nothing is real here. This is just JavaScript. If you actually have a look at some of these addresses, which you can't here because they don't let you, it doesn't go to Etherscan or anything like that. You can't see or verify that it's a real transaction. So they're all fake. Gotta love it. And this is rampant across all ecosystems. So you see that for Ethereum, see here MicroStrategy and Kathy Wood for ARK Invest on Bitcoin and Ethereum there. And of course, good old Charles is always a target as well. And you can see these scams. So it really doesn't give the crypto industry much credit when all these scams are continuously going. They're really, really hard to stamp out. Now, things are made worse when advertisers such as Google or Facebook allow for these scams and they don't pick them up. For Google, you know, they're getting ads. They're getting paid to deliver these ads, so it's an automated process. They're making money out of it. So when people are clicking on these ads, they're going, "Hooray! Great! We're getting a revenue from these clicks." But what you can see here, this is Phantom. This is a Phantom app for Solana, and here what they've done is Phantom with an N. So they've spelt it incorrectly. People won't pick up on that. They'll just type in Phantom, go, "Oh yeah, there it is." Click on that and go to the fake app version of that particular wallet, and they'll enter in their seed phrase. So I've got some screenshots here for you. So here we go. We're onto the fake website here. So phantom.pw, and they'll go to the website, they'll try connect, and they'll realize that it's not working. So it will prompt you to enter in your seed phrase. So you go, okay, well, this is the real Phantom website, right? So here it is. It looks all legit. I'll enter in my recovery phrase, my secret recovery phrase there, and access my wallet. It will probably give you another error at that point, and then the scammers will see that immediately and will go, okay, well, we've got their seed phrase, let's empty their wallet. So you're there trying to enter in your seed phrase again and again to get this thing working, because there's a DEX launch, there's an NFT launch, and you really want to get in on this and participate, and they've caught you out. And now they're draining your wallet completely empty, exiting on Binance, whatever it is. So please be careful of these particular apps. You think you're going to the right one by typing it into Google, but of course that ad catches you and it will take you to the wrong one. Now, what I do is I like to use ad blockers. I am huge on ad blockers, and I really filter out anything like this. I use the Brave browser, which has built-in privacy and ad blocking features, but I also have this one here, Ghoststreet. So this is a great little plugin, a Chrome extension plugin that you can add in, and it blocks everything that you can think of. It blocks all of these ads that appear, Facebook ads, Google ads, on-page ads on websites, and also YouTube video ads as well. So I haven't seen a YouTube video ad in a long time. I don't know if it's Ghoststreet or Brave, one of the two, one of the combinations that blocks out a lot of the ads as well. So I don't see any of that. Unfortunately, for content creators such as myself, I'm telling you ways so that you can stop me earning revenue. But if it protects your security, go for it. Go for it. Block it. I don't really care. So this isn't just on Phantom, on Solana, on Cardano, whatever it is. You can see MetaMask here. This is a fake MetaMask address, and you'll type in here, import your wallet, or you don't want it. They don't want you to create a new wallet. They want you to import your wallet, and as soon as you import your wallet, they've got all your details and all your funds. It's essentially gone. So please be aware, whatever website you're going to, make sure you're on the right website. You're using the right wallet. Verify everything before you're jumping in and just dumping your seed phrase online. That's one of the major points where people are losing out on their cryptocurrencies and having their wallets completely wiped. Now here's another example as well. You can see here uniswap-fath.tech. I don't even know what that is. But this is just a plain HTML page where it's a form. So you'll type in your seed phrase here, word by word, click on proceed, and it will just submit that to their database or even an email address, and they'll just copy and paste it and empty your wallet. Very, very, very annoying. Okay, so talking about those NFT drops. Now, this is a really cool NFT drop. It's the Clay Nations and Snoop Dogg and what's this other guy's name? I've forgotten his name. Champ Medici. So they're big names, right? So everyone's hyping out about this project. And on Discord here, you can see eventually you get these notifications, and if you're participating in the ecosystems, you'll see these notifications come through, and you think, oh, whoa, okay, I got an official notification from the Claymates team, and this is the official minting process for this. And you think, great, okay, you go to the website, you look over it, it looks all legit, but this is all a fake as well. And you really have to be wary of this. Now, I got to this because you can see just here at the CNFT, one mutual server there, I didn't lock down the privacy on that server. So when you're going through and setting up and joining all these Discord servers, you need to set your privacy to a high level. You can set your privacy by going to right-clicking on the actual Discord server, clicking on privacy, and then close disable DMs, direct messages. So if you disable that, you won't get these type of notifications. It's just one little extra thing that you can do. You can also disable all of the notifications on the server as well, so you're not overwhelmed. I'm signed up to over 200 Discord servers, and I do this to every single one of them so that no one can direct message me directly. Obviously I forgot this one, but it was a good example of being able to have this so that I can actually show it to you guys. So this website here, this is a fake minting website. If we look at this one here, it looks like the authentic one. It looks real, it looks legit. All they've done is copied and saved all the images and assets from the real one and then just changed a little bit of text down here. So the minting process for a Cardano NFT is all you need to do is send ADA to a minting address, such as this one here. And then from that minting address, we can trigger a couple of actions and then send the NFT back to you. So it's a randomized process. Absolutely love how Cardano NFTs work. But if we go here and let's have a look at this particular address. So I pulled up this address and I want to see if anyone's fallen for it. And there's got a balance of 500 ADA in here. So I'm afraid someone did fall for it. So if we transactions, so that's okay, there's only one, fortunately. But still here, so output. So one person has sent 500 ADA into this particular address. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. They had maybe 1,449, I think. Yeah, it's gone to this particular address here. So that's someone that's fallen for this, unfortunately. And because people do fall for it, that's why these scams keep going. That's why they keep happening. So I'm hoping this one gets closed down pretty quickly. It looks like no one else has fallen for it recently. Or they're updating and changing the addresses quite often so that it's a little bit harder to track. Please don't fall for this. Go to the official project Discord or the official project's website. Read carefully all the details about an NFT drop so you can find out where the details are and to be able to participate. Me personally, I wait to the secondary marketplaces. If it's a decent project, I just buy on a secondary marketplace. So it's a little bit less stressful that way, especially with it. For me, NFT drops are like 2 a.m. It's not, I'm not doing that. Sorry. All right. Now, this one here, this is the regular phishing scam and also password reset alerts. If you're on Facebook, if you're on social media, you probably see unauthorized password resets happen all the time. And these worry me because it does mean that someone's trying to probe your accounts, try to reset your password and trying to get into your account. So maybe your password was compromised somewhere before and they're playing around with your details to try and get into your account. So it's really important if you ever see a password reset email come through that you think about resetting your password, but don't click on the one in the email itself because it may be a phishing scam. Scammers can send out fake emails to you with fake links to force you to reset your password on their version of Facebook or Instagram, whatever it might be. Or they might be saying an email such as unauthorized access, come in and reset your password. And in doing so, you jump onto their website, type in your current password, type in a new password, and then it will fail. And that's because it doesn't do anything. All they wanted was your current password. As soon as that comes in, they'll go off, log into your account and then start to change your digital life, see what else it's connected with, such as your shared drives, such as Google Drive, OneDrive, whatever it might be. And once they get into that, it's pretty much game over for those accounts. They have access to everything. They can download all your data in your online backups, and that's pretty much all gone. So in regards to having those passwords, please be aware of those phishing scams. Read over the emails. Look at the address in there. This is namecheap.com. That is a legitimate domain. Anytime I see things like this, I don't click on the links in the email. I'll go to the website itself and then reset passwords that way. So that's probably a really good takeaway there. Now, on this one here, I can also have a look at the IP address. I typed in the IP address and I could see that the request was coming from somewhere in Hong Kong, so maybe somewhere in China. Someone in China is trying to access my account. So that was an immediate alert for me. I changed all the details on that particular account. Luckily, I don't even use that account. So it's a very old account that I had set up, but actually don't do anything with. So all those details, thankfully, weren't compromised. Now, in terms of password management, there are all these different online products where you can manage all your passwords. So not one single website has the same password. I use password managers like this to be able to manage all of them for me. So the password managers will create long string character passwords, whether it's 12 characters long, 16, 18, or 128 characters long. The longer the better. It's harder to break and crack. And that means that anyone that has or is trying to brute force attack my passwords would have to spend hours, days, years to try and crack it. And it's almost impossible, but with quantum computing one day, it will be possible. Besides that, you'll be able to manage all your passwords and keep everything secure. So if one of these, for example, maybe DoorDash, for example, they get hacked and all their passwords get leaked. It shouldn't because it's encrypted, but all their passwords get leaked. And if you're using the same password for multiple different accounts, consider all those accounts compromised. And anyone that has those username and password combinations will be able to get into any of those other accounts as well. So it's really important to use unique passwords, strong passwords, and a password manager like LastPass is a really good way to manage it all. Now, I don't use LastPass personally, but I do know they have a free version of it, so that's why I'm mentioning it here. But also this one here, this Bitwarden, it's an open source password manager, and it also has a free plan as well, so you can download that for free and manage all your passwords in there for free, which is absolutely fantastic. They're all encrypted, it's all secure, and it's done in a really easy, usable way. I'll put links to it down below for you so that you can find out all about these particular password managers and different tools to help manage your digital life. Now, also with all these password managers, they have a recovery process. The recovery processes usually have like an extra set of keys or extra set of passwords that you have to download. Keep them offline as well. Do not save them onto your shared drives. Do not share them onto Google Drive, Dropbox, whatever it might be. Don't store it on there, because if someone gets access to any of these, they will be able to access your entire digital life. I keep on repeating that. It's really important. And secondly, do not keep your seed phrases on here. It is not safe. If one of these services such as LastPass or the other online ones or the cloud-based ones, if they ever get compromised, fingers crossed they don't, and they manage to get in and access your online encrypted passwords, they'll be able to see everything. So all of your access accounts, including any seed phrases that you saved on there. So accessing a password for a website such as Bitwarden, big deal. There's not really much saved in there, maybe a little bit of personal data. But if you saved your seed phrase on your password manager and someone gets access to your password manager, consider it gone, okay? Hopefully I've got that message really nailed down so you understand. Do not save your seed phrase anywhere online. It can be compromised at some point. Cool. Okay. So now that you have really secure passwords, all your passwords are up to date and really long, really hard passwords to crack, you'd consider using two-factor authentication as well. So two-factor authentication will ensure that there's a second step in logging into any of these websites. Binance is a really good example. If you're using Binance, Binance has a forced two-factor authentication process where you have to authenticate via your email, and you have to authenticate via a secondary device such as your phone or via SMS or with the Google Authenticator app. And I absolutely love the Google Authenticator app. It creates that one-time password that expires every minute, and you need that to access any of your accounts. So this is a must. every single account, your email, your shared drives, whatever you're using online should have by default two-factor authentication enabled. Now there's different levels of authentication that you can use. You've got the SMS, but SMS authentication is also subjected to SIM jacking, where someone could steal your phone number. It's quite easy to do, unfortunately, but it is getting better these days, so you can use that, but try and avoid it. The one-time password through Google Authenticator or other apps such as Authy. Authy is an alternative. That's a really good way of managing your authentication passwords. You can see Bittrex on there, so it's encouraged. It's definitely encouraged. But then also this last one here, the authentication device, and such as a YubiKey. I've got mine here. Here, have a look. So that's a YubiKey. So this creates the one-time password for you, and you plug this into your USB drive, and then on here, there's got a little switch. You press that, and that will generate your one-time password on there and submit it to the website. So to gain access to this is a lot harder than a hacker that's overseas trying to access your computer. So something like this is fantastic. I highly recommend them as well. So if you can't get access to one of these are actually fairly cheap, but if you can't get access to one of those, get the Google Authenticator app or the Authy app as well. Absolutely fantastic. Now, if you're using the phone device for Google Authenticator, you can export all of your two-factor authentication codes to a backup phone. And that's what I do. So I've got a backup phone that I've got stored away, locked away, that is usually dead because the battery dies, but I can plug it in back into a USB charger and then restore it and access my two-factor authentications if I ever need to. So it's always good to have a backup of that, so that you can recover and get into your actual devices. These ones here I absolutely love, but I seriously keep losing this. So I am so paranoid. It's got no markings on it whatsoever, so you can't tell what I'm using it for. But if I lose that, I lose access to certain accounts, and I'm always afraid of that happening. So that's a downside to this. It's only one of, and it's very, very hard to recover from. Now, the last scam that I'd like to talk about. So we've talked about security, we talked about different scams. This last one here is what I don't know if there's an official term for it, but I call it a liquidity scam. So someone's launching some sort of crazy token. You think it's going to moon, you think it's going to be the next big thing, the next big Doge, and it's going to make you millions. You buy in at what is it, like 0.0000, lots of zeros there, 22, and then you can sell it when it hits like $1, and that's a huge increase in value. That doesn't always happen. That Doge effect that happened in 2021, the Shiba Inu one, they're very rare and doesn't often happen. Once people get burnt once, it's unlikely that will happen again. Now, this one here, this is a very interesting liquidity scam. So here you can see an initial big price jump, and then it drops down, and then it pretty much stays stable, but on a downward trend. But this dark shadow back here that you can see, this is the amount of volume, how much actual trading actually happened during this period of time. So over this period of time, in a course of a day, you can see the price go down. Okay, it's not a big deal. Prices in crypto go up and down all the time. But the amount of volume, the amount of cryptocurrency that was traded back and forth during that period is huge. So what happened here was this was from a popular influencer. I can't remember their details exactly, but you can find the details here on CoffeeZilla. CoffeeZilla is a fantastic channel that talks about a lot of these crypto scams, and he breaks them down so that you can find out exactly what happened, so you can learn more about these scams and have those red flags. So as soon as you see them, you know what to avoid. But this one here, so they pumped up this particular coin, and it went down in value, which is, okay, that's fine. You got pump and dump, that usually happens. But what you can see here is the volume increase hugely over this period. So a lot of people are actually jumping in and buying, thinking, oh, wow, okay, it's gone down. It must be a cheap time to buy. They're putting in those huge buy orders at that point in time and thinking it will go up. Oh, great, it's going back up. Cool, I can sell it soon. But what's happening in the background is the owner of this particular token is actually dumping liquidity back on all of the users. So they hold all of the tokens. They hold like 90% of the tokens. I don't know exactly how much they're holding. I don't know the backstory on this one. But they'll release maybe like, for example, 10% to the community and let them buy and sell that, but they hold the rest. So they can go in and sell and dump on their followers and essentially convert all of their virtual magic internet money into fiat currency and then go off and buy Tesla, which I think this particular person did. So watch out for these scams and watch out for the liquidity, see what's trading on here. Me personally, do not get involved in these meme coins because you don't know what's going on behind it. You think you know the influencer, you think you know the person behind it, but do you really? Yeah, okay. That's probably something a little bit more technical as well, especially if you're just getting into the crypto industry to watch out for. But liquidity dumping on communities is huge and makes these influencers a huge amount of money. So please be aware of them. Please don't fall for them. Please don't get into the projects in the first place. Protect yourself that way. So that was a huge amount of information for you. If this is your first time getting into the crypto industry, if this is the first time you're getting into crypto, or if you've been in the crypto space for a while and you got something out of this, hopefully you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up, click subscribe, click on the notification bell, and I'll provide you a whole lot more information like this so that you can keep yourself safe, secure online so that you don't fall for these scams. So a couple of takeaways for you here. So this is to round it up and wrap it up. Use a hardware wallet. Using a hardware wallet is one of the best ways to keep everything, all your digital assets, as secure as possible. The hot wallets that you use online are easy to compromise, a little bit easier to compromise. Secondly, keep that seed phrase offline. Have it on cold storage. Again, one of these pieces of metal are absolutely fantastic. That's a really good way. But there's also fancier ways, fancier hardware, cold storage hardware wallets that you can use where you can save your seed phrase in them as well. If you do a little Google search, there's plenty of them out there. Some of them look really cool too. Third thing is to ensure you're using two-factor authentication on everything, on your email, your shared drives, your cryptocurrency accounts, whatever it is. Use two-factor authentication to ensure that everything is locked down and have backups of that as well. Again, store that offline. Last but not least, and this is probably the biggest one, stop and think. Don't FOMO into things, fear of missing out. Don't FOMO into NFT drops. Stop, think, and progress slowly through your cryptocurrency experience. The trigger, the fear of missing out on a lot of these projects that launch is what scammers use to get to you. So if you see one of these deals online where you send your crypto and you get ADA back, that is a fear of missing out trigger point. And that's what scammers use to try and get your crypto assets. So don't fall for that. Stop, think, take your time. Make it even harder for yourself to actually access your crypto so that you can have that slower point and slower access to your assets so you don't fall for these scams. Hopefully, I don't want to hear any sad stories in the comments, but they do happen. And if they do, please share it with other people so that they're aware of what's going on in the industry so that they can avoid it as well. I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.